Hi everyone, it's Elizabeth here. I hope you guys are having a really good January so far. Mine has been interesting. Going back to work as a full-time teacher after winter break with everything going on in the world right now has been a slight challenge, but I made it through my first full week of school and I feel good about next week. I feel ready. So today, instead of talking about work, I have a video that I've been wanting to film since I started uploading content. And that video is on gestational diabetes. As you might know, if you've seen my other videos, I'm pregnant with my first child. And I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes a while ago. I am currently 26 weeks 5 days pregnant, and I was diagnosed at actually 12 weeks. So it's something that I didn't know anything about, and I wish I could have found a little bit more content about it on YouTube. There's some cool videos, and I did see a lot of information on TikTok, so I'm thinking about uploading some of the things that worked for me, because the thing about gestational diabetes is that everyone is different and everyone's insulin resistance is different. So this video is for my mamas that have been diagnosed with gestational diabetes and you're scared, you're disappointed, you're worried, maybe you're even blaming yourself. This video is for you guys. This video is to give you some helpful information and to maybe give you a little bit of encouragement, because I've been on this journey, let's see if I can do math, for about 12 weeks now. And I do feel like I've learned a lot in that time. My huge disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I'm a very educated woman. I have a master's degree, but it's in teaching and music, not in medicine. So always go by what your doctor, your dietitian, your nurse are telling you before you go by what I'm saying. Double check what I'm saying with them to make sure that they agree with it. But most of what I'm going to be telling you is coming from my diabetes center. So just keep that in your mind. I'm not a doctor, so this is not medicine. Like, I don't have medicine experience. So this is just my personal experience and what has worked for me. So that's my big disclaimer. Number two, everybody, like I was saying earlier, everybody is different. Everybody is going to react to different foods differently. Everyone's going to react to different things differently. Things that worked for me may not work for you. But I have found that even when I saw ideas that I tried and they didn't work for me, it was like, check, okay, I tried that, it didn't work, so now I can move forward. So even if some of these ideas don't necessarily work for you, you can still work through them and just see what's going to work for you. So without further ado, let's go on ahead and get on with the actual part and get diagnosed with gestational diabetes. Doctors say that being overweight can make you more prone to it, but I feel like, this is my personal opinion, I do feel like that's a label that they put on everyone who is overweight. I think that that is something that they blame everything on. And so according to BMI, I'm overweight. Well, I'm way more than overweight. But when I got pregnant, I was working out every single day. I was eating very healthy. And I was overweight, but it was because of a lot of medications that I was taking the year prior. So you cannot blame yourself. You can't go down that road. It's the pregnancy. And most of the time it leaves your body as soon as your placenta does. So it's something that I'm really looking forward to. So something else that I wanted to make a note of is that GD can happen in an otherwise healthy pregnancy. You can have gestational diabetes and have a very controlled, diet-controlled diabetes. You can have a very healthy pregnancy otherwise. That's not necessarily the case for me. I have been labeled high risk since week 8. So that's not been the case for me, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the case for you. Most women that I've talked to who have been diagnosed with it have been able to control it with diet. I have a few other issues on top of this. So, you know, it's easy to think, oh, this contributed to that, but it usually does not. So just keep that in mind, that you can have a very healthy pregnancy and have no issues giving birth with gestational diabetes. So many of my acquaintances and friends who've had this have had very normal pregnancies. So be encouraged if that's typically the case. Something that my medical team has shared with me is that there is a very wide range of insulin resistance during pregnancy. So you can have a lot of different scenarios. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was insulin. So this is a very hot topic among moms, and I've seen it be a very hot topic. There is a lot of resistance to being put on insulin, pun intended. Moms just don't want to be put on it. You know, it's something that they just don't want. So I was put on insulin, I think about 5 or 6 weeks ago. And the reason that that happened is because the numbers that I was testing for in the morning before I ate, called your fasting number, those are the hardest ones to control because that's totally up to your body. It's not up to your diet at all. And mine just started creeping up. And they were above where my doctor wanted them to be, and it was a consistent thing, and we just knew that I needed to be on insulin. So don't feel guilty if you have to be put on insulin. Don't feel bad, and please do not cut your carbs so that you don't have to be put on insulin. I see moms doing this all the time, and it really frustrates me. My doctor's guidance is that you should be eating up to 30 grams of carbs for breakfast and 45 for lunch and dinner. And you need those carbs. You need them for energy, and your baby needs them as well. So if you're trying to cut carbs so that your numbers don't spike, so you don't get put on insulin, you're thinking of it backwards. Like, you should be able to eat carbs without your numbers spiking. And if your body needs that insulin, please listen to your body. Don't listen to people saying, oh no, it's so bad for it's not. It does not cross the placenta. It doesn't hurt the baby. What is going to hurt the baby is you not doing what your body needs. So, as far as that goes, I need to make another whole video about insulin. I feel like this video is going to be so long already, so I probably won't go too far into depth about that. But there are a lot of different medications that they do use for GD, so it was just my doctor's choice to put me on insulin because they knew I was going to end up on it anyway. So that's been interesting. So the next I'll talk a little bit about it right now, is insulin. So I wasn't 100% sure how that was going to work. Some moms use a pen, some moms use a syringe. I ended up not being able to get the pen from my pharmacy, so I ended up using syringes. My doctor recommended, oh, you should inject it into your side. That didn't work for me. I ended up just doing it like in my butt, to be honest with you, like not in my butt, on my butt. And that has been like the easiest thing for me to do. It just doesn't hurt the way that my side was really bad. So don't do that. But they've upped me all the way to a pretty significant amount of units for my fasting numbers, about 30 something, 36. So, but some people are all the way up to way higher numbers than that. So to be honest with you, the insulin's more of a pain than it is actual pain. It's just annoying. But now that I've been on it for a few weeks, it's really helped. And if you have any other questions about the insulin, just shoot me a message or a comment and let me know. But that's kind of my thing, is that I was diet controlled. My numbers were good with food up until 6 weeks ago. So I think the only other thing that I was going to talk about, oh, if you do have questions about like your blood sugar numbers, like what they want, I'm kind of hesitant to talk about that because every office is different and I've seen different numbers across the internet. I guess I can say it, and then if your doctor says something different, do what your doctor says. So my doctors want me to keep my fasting number, my fasting finger prick, to be under 95 diet controlled, under 90 with insulin. So now that I'm on insulin, it has to be under 90. After any meal, the rest of the day, they want it under 130 after 1 hour. So you set a timer. I set a timer on my phone. That's been very helpful, either on my phone or on my Fitbit, for 1 hour. As soon as I start eating, for the first bite, you do 1 hour is what my doctor wanted. And they want it under 130 after that 1 hour. So those are the numbers that they gave to me. I have never had a read over like 160. I've seen some moms that have them like even higher than that. It's just a matter of what your body does and how it reacts to certain foods. So I've finally learned not to beat myself up if I do get a high number. I just eat some protein, drink some water, and go from there. So if you do get a high read, don't freak out about that. The last thing that I was going to talk about before I show you some food items that have worked for me, that's what I'm most excited about, are a couple of different tips as far as how to just survive gestational diabetes in general. So I think my number one tip is to give yourself some grace. Know that your numbers are not going to be perfect. Once you get into the rhythm of finger pricking and all of that, you know, you're going to start understanding your body more and what your body can and cannot handle. As far as carbs, your doctor will give you a list of foods to eat and foods to avoid and foods to have in moderation. My dietitian that they assigned me from the diabetes center, she was amazing. I feel like I'm sitting weird, but my leg fell asleep. I don't know if you moms can relate to this, but like my circulation sucks now that I'm pregnant. Like my feet and my hands fall asleep at like no provocations. Like they're asleep and I don't even know why. Yeah, so my dietitian was amazing and gave me so many tips, and I might do another video of like what I eat in a day with gestational diabetes. I may do that, but the thing about it is give yourself some slack. You're gonna be okay. I mean, if you care at all, then you're doing better than some people out there. Drink a ton of water. I drink so many of these. I need to get a new one. It's getting gross. Well, not gross, but like chipped. I drink so much water. Water really does help with keeping your blood sugar from spiking. If you're dehydrated and you eat the wrong type of carb or too many carbs, it really does help with that. If I go out to eat, I ask them for 2 glasses of ice water straight up so that they don't have to keep coming back to refill my water. So number 1, cut yourself some slack. Number 2, drink a ton of water. Number 3, you have to get used to counting your carbs. So labels are everything. You want to make sure, you know, that whole wheat bread that you think is okay could have 20 grams of carbs per slice. And if you're trying to keep your carbs like 25 carbs for breakfast, you can't have 2 pieces of bread or 2 pieces of toast for breakfast. You know, like it's just going to spike your blood sugar and it's going to be high. So you need to look at your total carbohydrates. Don't look at the sugar. Don't worry about that. The carbohydrates include the sugar in it. Look at your total carbohydrates for any kind of processed food that you're eating. And you can also Google carbs and items. Like you can go to, I think it's called fastfoodnutrition.com. I'll link it below. But it'll tell you the information that you need to know about your favorite fast food places and some restaurant chains. So you can even find out how many carbs are in like a bacon Gouda cheese sandwich from Starbucks or chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A. You can find out those items without having to go to the trouble of asking because they probably don't know. So those are some tips that I have. The other item is make sure you're snacking quite frequently. I have found that if I don't, my blood sugar can crash and then I feel very sick, especially if you are a full-time working mama or you already have a child that you're running around after. Whatever your situation is and you don't have a ton of time, you need something quick, you need something easy. Protein shakes are really good if you make sure they're low carb. Protein bars, same thing, low carb. Yeah, all those kind of things. Cheese is my best friend. I eat a lot of cheese. Just all those kind of things. Just make sure you have plenty of snacks. Don't get stuck in a place where you just don't have anything to eat at home or at work. And if you are going to work like me, pack a lot of snacks. Overpack. I mean, the worst that can happen is you don't eat all of it. So snacking, that's very important. My other tip is exercise. So especially when you are diet controlled, but even with insulin, it's important. After you are done eating and your food's settled enough to where you feel like you can move your body, do a 10 or 15 minute walk. If it's nice outside, you can just do a 10 or 15 minute walk outdoors, or you can do what I ended up doing more. I ended up doing little workout videos. I use a lot of Leslie Sandstone walking videos. I also used, I think she's called Glow with Joe. I'll link both of those in the description box below. But they don't have to be long workouts, you guys. You don't have to be sweating. I never changed into workout clothes or workout shoes. I just went to my little office with my TV in it and did the little workout at home. I also did these workouts at my job because I have my classroom. That's where I would do it. This helps lower your blood sugar. It really does. If you ever feel like, oh, I may have eaten too much of a certain type of carb and my blood sugar is going to spike, then go do a workout. But I did workouts pretty much every night anyway, and it just helps keep your blood sugar more stable. And it's good for your mental health. It's good for the baby. It's good for all of that. So those are my quick little things. I was going to show you guys things that I eat with gestational diabetes, but this video is getting very long. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video here, and then I'm going to upload a separate video with items that I eat with gestational diabetes so that it's not so long, because this video's like ridiculously long because I'm a chatty Cathy. And the funny thing is, you guys, I have way more that I could share about this. So if anyone watches this video, because I get like 5 views on my videos because I just, you know, nobody knows who I am. If anyone does watch this video and you liked it, please like it and subscribe to my channel. I am a full-time music teacher who is building her home and her life with her husband in North Carolina, expecting my firstborn son in April. And I am really excited to be uploading content. But yeah, so subscribe and hopefully you'll see something you like. And comment down below and see if there's any type of information you'd like to know about GD, and any type of video requests that don't have to do with that have to do with pregnancy, being a boy mom, nursery stuff. That's all things that are on my radar that I want to do. This video might have been pretty rambly, and I apologize for that. I am getting tested for ADHD in the spring as well, so I do think that I get rambly sometimes. But if you have made it this far, thank you so much. You're amazing. Let me know if you have any questions or comments down below, but do be kind or I will block you. And I will talk to you guys sometime soon. Have a great day.